Her family truly came to think about killing her just because, 3 months earlier, she had become pregnant. In the small village, Jessica had always been the perfect girl. When other mothers scolded their children, they always used her as an example. Why couldn't they be like Jessica? Look how she helps her mother. Look how she respects her elders. Her father was the chief deacon of the church. Her mother led the women's prayer group. In that town, their last name was practically synonymous with decency. One day, Joey returned to the village during the dry season. He was 18 years old and came from the big city. He stayed at his aunt's house, just a few steps away from Jessica's home. Joey was nothing like the boys from the village. He dressed well, spoke with a city accent, and Jessica saw him for the first time by the village stream. He was kind and patient, and little by little, Jessica began to look forward more and more to seeing him. Just hearing footsteps outside made her heart race. Soon, they began seeing each other in secret and grew closer and closer. One night, while the whole village slept, they kissed in the darkness, completely out of control. That night, she crossed the line for the first time. 2 weeks later, Joey returned to the city. He said he would write to her, but those letters never arrived. 3 months passed, and every morning Jessica woke up feeling nauseous. Her period stopped, her body began to change, and she finally understood she was pregnant. She did everything possible to hide it. She wore loose, thick clothes, but her mother soon realized that something was wrong. When her father found out, he gave her the first slap of her life. She had no choice but to admit it. The baby was Joey's, and he was already gone. From that day on, the house turned cold. Her parents repeated over and over again, "This baby cannot be born." First they threatened her. Then they tried to convince her, mixing harsh words with gentle ones, until finally they locked her in her room. But Jessica did not give in. Her belly kept growing, and they began to panic. If the village found out, all those years of good reputation would be destroyed in a single night. One night, her father spoke to her coldly, telling her that if she dared to bring that shame into the world, they would have no choice but to put an end to everything. She saw the hardness in his eyes and understood that they were capable of killing her. Shortly after, her mother brought her dinner. The food tasted strange. She was so hungry that her hands were shaking, and she ate everything without thinking much. Soon her head felt heavy, her vision blurred, and she didn't even know when she passed out. When she came to, she was lying on a mat in an unfamiliar hut, her hands tied behind her back. Outside, she heard her parents speaking in low voices with an elderly woman. They had taken her there to force her to have an abortion. The rope wasn't tied tightly, so she held her breath, loosened herself little by little, and crawled toward the wall to escape through a hole. Outside, there were only thorny bushes. She ran barefoot, like a mad woman, stones and branches tearing into the skin of her feet, without daring to look back. Almost at dusk, she reached the main road. A truck loaded with wood stopped beside her. The driver looked at her, asked no questions, and agreed to take her to the market in the nearby city. That was when her parents realized she had escaped.